Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 1995 dimes from the United States of America. We have the P, the D, and the S dimes. And let's move them out and start right up with the P. Now, of course, as many of you know already, the dime in the United States is a 10-cent coin, so it's worth 1/10 of a US dollar. And this particular dime is a Philadelphia dime. We know that because there's a P here, and that stands for Philadelphia. Now, what happens is when they first started doing these dimes, the non-silver version of the dimes in 1965, they did not put the P on there. They didn't put it on until 1980. So 65 to 79, no P meant Philadelphia. So if there's no mark at all, and it's 1979 or before, it meant Philadelphia. If it's a P after 1979, of course, that means Philadelphia. It says Liberty. This is the so-called Roosevelt dime. Roosevelt's facing to the left. Under his chin, it says, "In God we trust." We kind of tip it from side to side there. We see that there's a little bit of a edge here. So this coin is a little, you see it's a little thinner there, a little thicker here, a little tiny bit offset, but that's not going to add any value to this particular coin. Another thing that we can see if we look way down here underneath the neck is that there are some initials there, and it's a J and an S for John Sinek, who was the engraver of this dime. If we tip it up, we see that it is a copper nickel clad copper, so copper nickel on the outside, copper on the inside, and a copper nickel on the back. Flip it over and we see that it says United States of America. There's a torch, there's an olive branch, there's an oak branch, and then in between here it says, see if we can get that just set up right, and if I quit banging on the camera, it says E pluribus unum. There's a dot here between the United States of America and the one dime at the bottom. So E pluribus unum is the motto of the United States of America. And if we look at this, we can see this a slight trace of a band here and a band here holding this torch together. And we see there's a little bit of an offset on the rim here. We saw that on the front, and now we're seeing it again on the back a little bit. This is where the cap actually goes on the back. Again, no value. This is rather a common thing that happens. It did happen at the mint, but there's no value to it in this condition. So that's a Philadelphia. Well, the next one we have, of course, is the Denver one. And what's the difference? Well, the only difference in this coin and this coin is, well, the only difference is a couple differences. One is this was minted in Denver. They used the presses there. And the second is that there's a different letter here. D for Denver, P for Philadelphia. Everything else from the copper nickel clad copper to the back is the same on these two coins. So we have a D and we have a P. And there are actually four different coins made, but there's 3 different mint marks in 1995. I should talk to you about how many they made, because I said it's not at all rare, and it is not at all rare. In 1995, at Philadelphia, they made 1.125 billion. So this one, 1.125 billion, which seems like a lot, except if you look at Denver, we see that they made 1.275 billion. So they made an extra 150 million of these Denver ones. So the Denver one's more common. Neither one of them is of any value or will be of any value. If you get this uncirculated, in other words, if it hasn't even been used at all, we're probably talking somewhere in the 40 to 50 cent range. So say you had to pay for shipping and mailing, you could probably get these uncirculated for $1 or less each. Now I said there were 4 different ones and 3 different mint marks, and that's where I'll bring this in. And this, of course, is the 1995 S mint mark, and S is for San Francisco, and you can tell by the background on this that I actually have it in the US Mint Proof set. So this is the S mint mark, and it is just spectacular, especially when you compare it to these coins here. You'll see that this is what a mint set gets you, and that is this beautiful kind of, this is a different scrubbing on the surface than these are, and see how that just stands right out there. This is probably a cameo, but we're not going to take it out of the plastic box to find out. It would probably cost us $5 or $6 to get this appraised as a cameo, and it may be an MS 65 or 66, and we could probably sell it for $2. So we won't be doing this one. Again, same thing, same lettering, same JS here. The S stands up pretty good on there. This one's a little bit of a funky S. See how that kind of wavers a little bit? But unfortunately, at the San Francisco Mint in 1995, they made 2.117 million of these. So these are all over the place. This is worth about $1.65 to $2. And this again is the copper nickel clad copper. There is, however, one other coin that has an S mint mark on it, and that is the silver mint set. So in 1995, they did have a silver mint set, and so the dime, the half dollar, and the quarter were all silver. And if you get a 1995 S silver, you're talking $5 or $6 worth. Just in silver value alone, I think we're talking about $2, I'm sorry, silver bullion value about $2. And so, but if you get this, if you get an S, it's most likely going to be in a mint set, and you'll just be able to look on the mint set, and instead of United States mint proof set, it'll say United States silver mint proof set, and that's where you'll know you'll have the silver one. When it's in here, you can't really tell, and it's kind of hard to look inside here, and we can't, there's no way for us to kind of tip it up and see really. You know, we can try. So you can't really see down in there the way this is inset, whether it has copper, nickel clad copper on it at all. But because it's in this set, we know that it does. And we can try it from the other side, and we get the same thing. But when we do look at the other side, let's not look at the quarter. That's a whole different video. We do see that when I showed you the torch on the Philadelphia Mint coin, I said, oh, there's some bands here, and look at the bands. So there's two different bands here, there's two there, and then there's one at the bottom. On this one, you can't even see the bands on the Philly. And you can really read it, United States of America. This almost looks like there's a little doubling on here, but the problem with that is when you're looking through plastic, it can be very deceptive. So we're not going to take it out again. This is worth more as a set than it is as an individual coin, so we'll leave it in there. And so this is, and you can see how the lines go up. Actually, sometimes you get little lines from the threads that the box is in, and that's the box that this comes from. But on this one, you can clearly see the acorn. See the acorns there on the oak branch, and you can clearly see the olives in the olive branch. Olive, torch, like this never-ending, always on torch, and then oak branch. All right, so that's what we have. We have the 1995. And let's set them back up again so we can just see all of them, and let's get rid of that quarter again. There's the 1995 S from the San Francisco Mint. Remember, that one comes in a silver and a copper nickel clad copper. There's a 1995 P from the Philadelphia Mint, and that, of course, they made over 1 billion of them. And here's the 1995 D from the Denver Mint, and they made 1.25 billion of these. So none of them are rare, none of them are very valuable, and if you want to collect these, collect them for what they are, which is 25-year-old dimes from the United States of America. And you can, as I did, can still get these in your change almost any day if you get change. And I'm not sure what we're going to do in the future, because I think coins are going to be kind of obsolete at some point, especially with the COVID and the other things. But good luck coin hunting, good luck coin searching, and look for the 1995 US dimes in your change. Thanks for watching the DC Coin World International Coin Channel.